Hi friends, my name's Amy Welch. Thank you for having me on here. I hate that I can't be in the event live with you. My daughter is a theater kid and she's in the middle of a 4-week 12-run production. So by the time you watch this YouTube video, I will already be back at the theater. But I have some really important things that I want to share with you guys about healthy kids and what it really takes to help reverse a lot of childhood things that we think are normal because they're common. But turns out, from my experience, they're actually not normal. You and your kiddos don't have to kind of suffer through them. So I have been using Plexus for over a decade, which is absurd to me because other than my marriage, it's the only thing I've ever been that consistent on. I was somebody who tried every yo-yo diet, every fad out there, never stuck with anything. Even when it came to hobbies, like I've never stuck with anything. So that alone is a testament to how well these products work. But my daughter will be 12 next week. I want to rewind back to when I was pregnant with her. I had never heard of gut health. I had never heard of Plexus. I was still pretty healthy. Wasn't crunchy at all. Like I ate my share of Doritos, did lots of clean eating bouts or rounds of Whole30. I had already though cut out aspartame and sucralose. That's one high horse I will get on. I'd already cut those out. But when I got pregnant, I knew I wanted to breastfeed. And I was really stubborn about it, but it was hard. It was the most impossible thing I've actually ever done. And I actually used to work in crime scene investigation. So breastfeeding didn't come natural to me. But I still did it for 5 years. Yes, I breastfed her for 5 years. I didn't plan to, but I didn't know anything about Plexus back then or gut health. Had I probably wouldn't have as much trouble with my milk supply. But you always hear that breastfed kids are super healthy, right? Well, let me tell you, Adelaide, up from like birth to 18 months, we were at the doctor all the time, and I thought it was just regular childhood things. She was constantly getting bronchial infections to the point to where we had our own little mask and breathing treatment machine. And I'll never forget, the doctors would say like, oh, this is normal, it's no big deal. But however, be prepared that she is going to be an asthmatic kid as she gets older. She's going to be really susceptible to RSV. She's probably also going to be on an inhaler, for the rest of her life. So just be prepared. They started talking about inhalers and what that would look like. And my husband and I were shocked. Neither of us had any experience with asthma. Neither of us had like bad allergies or we were just floored. And so it was about this time, she was about 18 months old, that I also suffer from thyroid disease. And I was just really tired of being tired. And I had stumbled onto Plexus and decided to try it on a whim. And it changed my health so much, and it changed my husband's, like his cholesterol dropped, his gout went away, that I took it to my pediatrician. Adelaide was 18 months old. I took the kids vitamin at the time and the adult probiotic, ProBio5. And I asked if I could start giving it to her because I had started diving. My husband is a scientist, so he's like a professional skeptic, but also professional researcher. So he started diving into why our health was changing so much with this one little pink drink and probiotic. And he found tons of research around gut health and the strains of probiotics we were using. And so my pediatrician said, this is great. You can absolutely give it to her. With the adult probiotic, she wasn't even worried about dosage. She's like, the worst that can happen if you give her too much or too little is it affects her bowel movements, and then you just change it up. For the vitamin though, she was more concerned about that because she was only 18 months old. Most kids vitamins are for kids age like 2 and up, 3 and up. And so we had to calculate the vitamin dosage based on my daughter's weight, okay? So my daughter started taking those. And I kid you not, from the moment she started taking them, she has never, ever had another breathing treatment. Ever. And I wish I could show you all the pictures. If I have time today, I'll show you a collage of every single time she had a breathing treatment. It was a regular part of our life. I had my breast pump sitting in the living room. I had the breathing treatment machine right next to it. That's how often we were using it. So I swear by gut health. Her breathing treatments went away. Those random fevers, like she would get random fevers and be sick, and we were always at the pediatrician, and I thought that was just normal toddler life. She also was in daycare. She was a daycare kid. So you think that's just normal, but I'm here to tell you it's not, because the second I started her on Plexus products, all of that went away. It got to the point where the pediatrician, when I would call for like the wellness appointment every year that you have to do, right, for school, they would say, we don't have you as a patient. We thought you moved because we haven't seen you in so long. Like those were the things, because she doesn't get sick anymore. And it's amazing. But listen, mamas and dads, I don't play when it comes to her health. So now she takes the X Factor Kids Vitamin. This was reformulated a few years ago. It's got the Kids Vitamin and a probiotic in it. She doesn't like it. Listen, she liked it back when it was like sour grape flavor. Now it's like tropical splash, which most kids love. She doesn't like it, but mama don't play, right? I'm the adult. I know what these products have done for her health. We don't deal with back to school germs anymore. We haven't since she was like 2.5 years old. Very rarely gets sick. I couldn't tell you the last time she had a fever or a cold or allergies. It's just not part of our world anymore. I wish I could show you my medicine cabinet. I don't have a medicine cabinet full of over-the-counter meds like I used to, because none of us need them. But she doesn't like them, but I still make her take them every day. It's a non-negotiable. She can whine, she can complain, but she's taking them. Everything else, like last night, she made a candy salad with everyone on her production team. I'm not the mom that says you can't have candy, you can't have dyes. So because I know I'm giving her this to combat all that stuff. So like I said, we're not super crunchy. If you are, that's amazing. You'll love these products even more because they're so clean. But we live a real life. She's gonna have Gatorade with dye in it sometimes, even though I prefer her not. Like, it's gonna happen. And so I know that these products combat that for her. The other thing I do, if I know she's been having a lot of sugar, if I feel a sniffle coming on, anything that's a little out of the ordinary, I give her this, but then I also still give her the adult probiotic as needed. Probio 5 is a powerhouse. It's the only thing that's gonna knock out that candida that is really, really bad. And as moms, like especially as working moms, I only had so much time I could take off to stay home with a sick baby. And so if that's the other thing, not only do we just want our kids to be healthy because we love them, it's hard when you work to always have a sick kiddo that you have to take time off, or you or your partner have to juggle and figure out who's going to stay home. So it's really been the biggest blessing, and I don't play with these vitamins. And then the other thing, just for me, when I started taking the products, I became a much more present mom. Up until 2 years old, because that's when we started Plexus, I was tired all the time. That's what thyroid disease does. It makes you exhausted. I was the couch mom. I was the mom that was like, can she play on the floor while I lay on the couch? Let's watch a movie instead of going to the park, right? Let's make it fun. Let's have a snack and we'll put a movie on. And that was so mom could lay on the couch. I didn't have the energy to go to the park. I also, later in life, when we moved to Texas, had seasonal allergies. I would take a leave every month for my cramps. I had brain fog, exhaustion, and all of that made me a grumpy parent. I was kind of short-tempered, and I didn't want to do all these fun things. But then once I started these products and I started healing my gut, and then my thyroid improved and the brain fog lifted, and all of a sudden I wanted to go to the park, I wanted to take a walk, I didn't want to lay on the couch. Everything changed too as a parent, and I became the parent that I always kind of wanted to be. So I know this is long-winded. I am so passionate about these products because I've seen what they've done to my family and thousands of other people. I will tell you though, if you're watching this and you're like, I don't know, or you're like, I've tried everything. Like, my kid has had allergies since they were born. We inherit our gut microbiome from our parents. So whatever our parents' microbiome is, that's what our children inherit. They can be born with a gut imbalance. So just because they've had migraines, allergies, all kinds of issues since birth, doesn't mean they're stuck with it. You can still help heal that and balance it and reverse so many of those things. But if you're watching this thinking, I don't know, this lady seems crazy, I will tell you that that's what I thought 10 years ago. I came home and told my husband, I'm trying these products, but don't you dare tell anybody. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to use that money back guarantee they have to return them. We tried them for 60 days, which was the money back guarantee. Like on day 59, I had it in my calendar. But so much changed for us that we knew we would never stop taking these. It makes us better people, better parents. And the one thing I love to tell people, if you're like not sure, the only way to be sure, you can hear my story a million times. I could tell you what my endocrinologist down in MD Anderson said about me taking Plexus. I can tell you about my husband's cholesterol numbers. I can tell you about his gout. I can tell you so many things that have improved, but you're never gonna truly believe it unless you just try it for yourself. And the great thing about products that are high quality, research backed, and that actually work and are effective is that they work on skeptics too. Thanks, friends.